Welcome to Three Devs and a Maybe, the podcast series for beginner web developers and general web enthusiasts. Now, introducing your show hosts, Michael Budd, Fraser Hart, Lewis Gaines, and Ed Mann.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Mike, Ed, Fraser, and Lou are proud to bring to you the greatest podcast in the world. The greatest podcast in the world. Three Devs and a Maybe. All right, guys, how's it going?
Right, mate.
Sorry, that was a bit over the
I
top.
don't quite know what to say to that. That was amazing.
You did kind of preface for an interesting intro. We weren't expecting that. It was good though. Enjoyed it.
Ah, thanks.
Yeah.
That was different.
Yeah, I'll be off now. See ya.
You fulfilled your duties for the day.
I've burnt out already. So that was different. That's probably going to lose us most of the listeners. But...
It kind of made me think of that. We had that tweet recently, didn't we? That guy was like, "Yeah, check out the podcast. The accents are a bit weird, but stick with it."
Yeah, it's like
we're just trying to accommodate that person now.
Yeah, pressure through the accents. You know, they're nightmares.
He's got.
Then we had that email, and the bloke said that he liked our accents.
I know the reason why he stayed. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, sir. That's ever so terribly kind of you.
Yeah.
Indubitably.
Awfully terribly kind.
Oh dear.
We don't actually speak like that. I don't know why people think that we do.
Well,
some people
it's like
do.
cup of tea and a biscuit. Ho ho ho.
No, I never said that.
Oh, let's go see the Queen. Sorry.
Shocking.
Anyway, carry on, people.
Possibly the most random 2 minutes of podcast since we started doing these things.
How are you doing, Lou?
Yes.
I'm very well, thank you. How are you guys? Got a bit of a sore throat after my rock impression just now. Yeah, I'm good. You guys all right?
Yeah. How's your week been?
My week's been all right. I'm still working from home and currently juggling 4 projects.
Wow.
So
Wow.
constantly, I've got about 8 or 9 Sublime text windows open at the moment, constantly fluctuating from one to the other, responding to various emails and bits and bobs. I think
Keeping you busy then?
Oh, definitely busy. Yeah, I've got a little site that's cropped up this week that needs to be done for the weekend. So that's the main thing that's keeping me busy at the moment. But other various projects ongoing. So yeah, all good. Can't complain. Certainly not quiet. Things
Are you
could
still
be worse.
loving the working from home thing?
Yes, I have to admit I am. I do like it. It's I do kind of miss it as well. I'm on equal sides really. We're going into our new office the week after next, and I'm looking forward to that definitely. Moving to Tunbridge, that'll be good. Up at Ed's neck of the woods.
Yeah, Tunbridge.
Yeah. So no, it's nice working from home. It's nice being able to work in your pants all day. Not that I do, but if I wanted to.
Of course you don't. Of course not.
Well, this Skype window kind of says otherwise, Lewis.
Yeah. Didn't want to mention that you were actually showing us on webcam, but you know.
Yeah, for listeners, Lewis is just sat there in a pair of Y fronts at the moment. It's pretty, beautiful.
It's just pretty, really.
When do you want them back, Fraser?
Anytime, mate. You can keep them if you like.
Please keep them now.
Yeah, they weren't that clean when I gave them to you anyway. So.
Oh, God. Dear, oh dear. Anyway, how are you guys?
Very
Ed,
good.
I'll
very
go
good.
left to right on my screen. Oh yeah, I'm technically the host now, aren't I?
You are.
Yeah.
You're the
Grand
hostess
opening.
with the mostess.
Yeah.
Or the
How
host
are you,
with the
sir?
most. I'm good, man. Yeah. Work's going all right. I'm working on the app stuff's kind of taken a backseat at the moment to working on some stuff that needs to be done before the busy month of January. That seems to be like the hot month for us, for our like working area. Well, yeah. Anyway, so what we do, I was trying to think of a technical business word to say for it. Our demographic or something like that. The keys.
Do you know what I've gauged already? We're definitely far better doing these on Sundays than weekday evenings.
Yeah. I think. Do you remember the forgotten second episode? It's not lost. It's just heavily edited.
Yes.
That
Got
one.
it.
Oh,
Whoa.
there's George. So we can edit that out as well. Awesome. Thank you,
I think
George.
we should keep it in.
I reckon we should try and play a game show that incorporates that. That's like your buzzer.
Oh, George. But yeah, so I've been working on a lot of Symphony 2 stuff this week. Lots of tweaks and stuff like that, and it's going really well.
I need to put you on the spot here.
Put me on the spot. Go for it.
Are you now?
George's.
In fact, I prefer George's question.
Go,
Yeah.
George. Come here.
Okay, yeah, this bit's going to need
Who's the
Empty.
dog?
Who's your boo?
Hello, Poochie.
Oh, that's it. So anyway, yeah,
Sorry.
carry on. No, sorry about that.
You're symphony man these days, so are you no longer considering yourself a Laravel man? Have you jumped the fence?
I am a man, just a man. I don't really class like. See, the thing is like, I know you can get very attached to frameworks and stuff, but I don't know. Like, I think it's the right tool for the right job. Like, right tool for the right job, the right tool for the job, really. You know, like, because something like you would use Laravel if you wanted to whip up a quick site, maybe, but then you'd maybe use Symfony more if you had a bigger application that you were going to use. You know, carry on and maybe, you know, invest a lot more time into. So I think something like Laravel still has its place, definitely. But for like bigger projects, I do see the benefit in Symfony and how it's structured and the thought behind it and stuff. It's a very much a well, a lot of the stuff stuff like the authentication part of it's taken from Spring in the Java world, so it's got more of a commercial feel to it. I've been trying to test it in that. So, yeah, I think I would say I'm probably then switched over, but only for the case that I'm actually at the moment, which is building, you know, a big application. But if I was building, you know, sites like CRUD sites and stuff, you know, like for, you know, like agency work, I think Laravel is brilliant for that.
Yeah, Symfony seems to be more of a framework for the big companies, doesn't it? Seems to be a lot
bigger
of
project, bigger projects and stuff. I mean, you can use it for smaller projects, but then it's that funny thing because we in house we had the idea, like, so we're building an API for the mobile site, and we were kind of thinking about using something called like Silex, which is like a small, it's like, you know, Slim framework, Slim PHP. Yeah, so quite a simple routing. Well, routing can't sound American. Simple routing, like framework.
Didn't
pretty much.
we have someone on the podcast, like a guest one time, who was talking about that they used it?
Silex. Oh yeah, Silex. So yes. Bo Simonson.
Yeah.
He uses it. For his apps, and it's really useful and really good, and you can expand it and stuff. But we were kind of thinking, well, actually, we're going to end up building quite a big application in it. We might as well just go to Symfony now. So it's one of those things where you could progress to Symfony, or you could just start off with it if you know that you're already going to have a big enough project. So we started using Silex, but actually we've now had we're going to invest some time into actually moving it to Symfony. We shouldn't be too hard, but yeah. So it's really, again, like it's choosing the right tool. That's for the job. Yeah, for the job. That's really the crux of it.
Good. Fraser, how are you, sir?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Are we allowed to share your news? Or
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just about to say I've not really shared my big news so far. I've taken a new job up in London, so I will be
Woohoo!
Just over a week left at my current position, and then I'll be moving into an office. I'm not going to be living there, but I'm going to be moving jobs into an office which is just around the corner from where it's working.
Do you get many live-in web dev jobs? Not that
I don't know. It'd be nice. The price of living up in London is going to be quite extortionate, so hopefully I'll be able to get like a toilet stall to sleep in or something. But but no. So it's really good news because it's a purely front end job, which is awesome because front end is what I enjoy and what I kind of. I don't want to say special. Well, yeah, it's what I want to specialise in, and it's kind of what I'm naturally better at as well. So for me, it's absolutely perfect, and it's really looking forward to it. It's a company that builds online gaming platforms, like online gaming is in gambling and stuff. So like bingo and blackjack and all this kind of stuff. So it's kind of. That's a bit of a bonus as well because I kind of enjoy the theory behind gambling and all that kind of stuff. So that's all interesting for me.
Unethical implications for building that site there.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the thing because they deal with gaming and stuff. Like I have to go and have like a criminal record check and all this kind of stuff. And so it's really cool. So I've not had that yet, and it's going to come back clean.
Create your own very special quote unquote winners login.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. Yeah, super user account.
His name is Fraser. Win jackpot. Every time.
Every single time.
Every
and
single
retire
time.
early. But no, so that's all really exciting and good. So I've got next week and the remainder of this week left in the office currently, and then I'll leave the day of the Christmas party at my current job. And then I've got the weekend in the start. I am going to that, yeah, confirmed today that I was still invited to that. Because there was kind of questions up in the air. And then, so I've got the weekend off and then literally straight into the new job. So I've got about a week and a bit before Christmas of working there. And then obviously a few days off over Christmas with bank holidays and stuff. So I was saying to these guys earlier, I like the way that I'm going into it because it kind of means that I've got a week and a little bit of when it's like uncomfortable and I'm like the new guy and stuff. And then everyone goes away for a few days for Christmas and then comes back and then like hopefully I'm no longer the new guy there anymore. So yeah, really looking forward to getting started. But it's a bit of an upheaval because I'm going to have to end up moving up there at some stage soon as well. So,
are you going to be commuting then daily? Is that
originally I'm going to be commuting? Yeah, because it's only 50 minutes from Southborough, from Highbrooms. Yeah, so going to do that initially, and then get myself moved up there, looking at Greenwich maybe. So
Greenwich, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, centre of the world, man.
The centre of the world.
How are your final days being spent where you are at the moment?
They are fine. Yeah, kind of working on the same project I've been working on for ages. I've talked about the kind of the .NET project for the big car manufacturer. I'm not really enjoying working in .NET, to be honest with you, and it's just because I'm not used to it, and I've not had the chance to lay foundations in C#. So it's kind of like, oh well, here's a project, like, and you go and modify this. So it's been a bit of a struggle, and stuff that you used to take in half a day is taking 2.5, 3 days, just because you're trying to learn everything as you go along.
It's harder not being a greenfield project, isn't it? And if you're having to learn it, like, because it's brownfield,
exactly.
Having to deal with that.
Brownfield, I've never heard that before.
Brownfield, greenfield and brownfield.
I've never heard that, but no, I like that. And
when
also
I went to Glastonbury, I was in one.
Oh yeah, no, it is a term. It is a term. Wow,
yeah,
thankfully,
I'll go with that. And yeah,
you with your fancy words, Ed.
Yeah, and because I know I'm kind of not that I'm. It's the motivation is not there to actively apply myself to learn .NET, because it's something that I'm never going to have to touch again.
Certainly not now.
Exactly, yeah.
So what's the stack at the new place then? Like, what's their
back end is all written in Java, so Michael would probably love that.
Seriously, man.
Yeah, so it's all kind of front end stuff. So it's like obviously a hell of a lot of JavaScript, and yeah, they work in Backbone as well. So I've been kind of they know I've never worked in Backbone before, but I've kind of explained that to them, and they're happy to take me on with that knowledge apparently, which is always good. So I've been spending like my evenings this week and last week and stuff going over Backbone documentation and kind of doing a couple of sample projects. Still quite a lot to learn with it, but yeah, it's been really good. And I've been, obviously, because there's so much JavaScript, like my JavaScript's, without blowing my own trumpet, like it's all right, it's quite good. But I've been kind of trying to level up a little bit on that. So I've been playing a lot of Code Wars.
On that in a bit.
Yeah, no, please don't.
I have a predicament I will speak to you guys about this evening, but we'll get on to that.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we'll have a little look at that. So yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on Code Wars, just kind of trying to level up a little bit there. And one of the guys at work, Stefan's been playing on that as well. So we've got a little bit of a competition between us. So I've left him in the office today, and he's like, by the time you come in tomorrow morning, I'm going to be leveled up higher than you. So yeah, I'm probably going to do some of that tonight to try and keep him at bay, because I'm slightly above him at the moment on the rankings, only because I've been playing it longer, not because I'm a better JavaScript.
So what is Code Wars then?
It's just kind of, I think we've spoken about it a while ago, about 6 months ago or something. They just give you code katas, and you basically, they give you a problem, and some of it's kind of a language problem, some of it's like just pure maths, and some of it's just pure logic, and it's really good to, because you're forced to learn the language, and you're forced to learn all the kind of nuances and all these kind of different functions and methods and stuff that you didn't even know the existence of. And then once you've submitted your answer, it runs it through a test script, and if it comes back correct, then you can proceed on to the next one. And then once you've got it correct as well, you can go and have a look at how other people have done it, and people vote them up. So like, I've been sitting there writing some stuff and like getting all smug with myself, like, oh yeah, I've like done this thing that I was like really kind of pulling my hair out over, and I've got like, I don't know, 7 or 8 lines of code, and I'm like, yeah, this is really, really efficient. This does it really, really well. And then you go and look at the results that someone else has done, and like someone else has done it in like 15 characters.
Oh, you hate them.
But it's really good because
learning is really awesome.
Yeah, and it uses elements of language, or they're using elements of language that I'd never encountered before, and it's awesome. Yeah, really, really cool. So yeah, I've been doing that. And freelance wise, I've knocked off all my projects, so I've got no freelance on the go at the moment. Which
that's brilliant. Good timing.
Yeah, good really, feeling, really isn't it?
Yeah, so I invoiced for the final one about a week ago. Still waiting for the invoices to be paid on the last 2. But yeah, it just feels nice to have free time to not have to come home and not to have to come home and sit in front of the computer, because invariably I do come home and I'll spend some time in front of the computer, either learning or reading or just watching people fall off bikes on YouTube. But at least I'm doing it because it's, I don't know, it's kind of relaxing time rather than, oh crap, I have to get back and I have to do this. So yeah, everything's going really, really good at the moment. So yeah, nice run up to Christmas.
Good stuff. Look forward to hearing about the new job and everything.
Yeah, no, I look forward to kind of updating everyone about it. Yeah, it's exciting time. Really, really kind of happy about it.
What about you, Mr. Lazy Pants on the Dole, Bud?
That's my name. Yeah.
How have you been?
Yeah, not too bad actually.
Still busy?
Really busy, but I've got 2 weeks left at uni now till Christmas, so like Fraser says, really kind of just clearing some stuff off my slate. So it's not too bad. It's manageable. Got my assignment in for my neural networks module last week, so that was
wicked.
Yeah, it felt good to get that out of the way. I'm not expecting many marks for that one, to be honest, but at least it's done, and keep cracking on, and I'm really enjoying it. It's keeping up. But I was saying to Ed today, the computer security module, it's just so interesting, and just so much stuff I didn't know about. And but today, I know we've talked about lots on the podcast and stuff, but they were talking about the most popular pin codes for your cards and stuff, and the top one was 0000.
Oh.
The next one was 1234, and then it was 8888. But then after that was your year of birth. I think it was 25% of people
use that. Yeah, many people use that.
Insane, and then they were looking Twitter passwords, just amount of people have got password, and it's just crazy.
How did you know my password?
Yeah. But we joke about these things, but honestly,
more importantly, how do they know these passwords if they're
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
Do you know what I think it is? When they get a leaked set of passwords, I reckon they do just run data process those, stats over that maybe.
Yeah.
Or they just ask people for their password.
Yeah. We're doing a survey. What is your password?
Oh, I've never done this survey before.
Yeah.
Last time
to digress slightly from that, I did hear once that if you type your PIN number in at a bank machine back to front, then that's a way of alerting police that you're being. I've got no idea if that's...
it's one of those urban myths,
You'd be devastated, though, wouldn't you, if you believed that and you did it and nothing happened.
Yeah. And you still got murdered anyway.
ATM safety PIN software is a software application that would allow users of automated teller machines to alert the police of a forced cash withdrawal by entering their personal identification number in reverse order. The system was patented by Illinois lawyer, blah, blah, blah. Contrary to wide circulated hoax, see below, the system is not implemented in ATM.
If you had a symmetric PIN? Then...
That's true,
that's very good.
Very good, yeah.
All these people that have got 8888.
Police coming out all the time.
A lot of police, confused police officers out and about all over the country.
Yeah.
But the other thing they were talking about today was biometrics, and obviously all this stuff with like thumbprints and retina scans, all that kind of stuff, and it's just, it sounds really good, and people think, this is the future, but it's not really a workable solution, because I didn't realise this, but apparently some people are born without fingerprints.
Really?
That is crazy.
Again, unfortunate.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at their hands. We're on video, we're all looking at our hands at the moment.
But and apparently there's some cancer treatments that will remove your fingerprints as well as a byproduct of it. So stuff like that doesn't really work, and retina. There's just loads of things that I didn't realise, but your fingerprints can change throughout your lifetime. Things like your voice can change, depending on how much alcohol you've drunk and how much you've smoked in your life. Just everything is pretty unreliable, actually. And I think the latest things they're doing is using your veins in your hands, because they're unique and they don't really change. But again,
that's so weird.
And I think there's flaws in that system, and it's just all these technology really cool, and RFID, your contactless cards. I know we talked about it a few weeks ago in the podcast and stuff, but that's because they only really have power when they come close to a reader, and they only have a very, very small amount of power. There's limits to what they can do with that, so it's very, very quick kind of algorithms and stuff, and which means it's not very secure. And like I said, that University of Newcastle, they found huge flaws in it and stuff. So really, really, really interesting topic, and encryption algorithms are really interesting. And again, I've talked about it before, but basically, it's just even if you've got these really great algorithms, you got this key, and you say it's a symmetric algorithm, then how do you pass this key securely without someone in the middle taking that key and then suddenly got it? So things like RSA, where you don't pass a key, it's mind-blowing. But I think I put it on Twitter. I'll have to put in the show notes the video that I found. It really makes it quite easy to understand, even if you're not mathematically minded. You don't really need to know the maths, but you can kind of understand how it goes on. So all that kind of stuff, really, really interesting. But I don't know how I'll go on. I just keep going, and just keep parenting, building the house.
How is the parenting going and the house building?
Okay, so the parenting, Toby had his final set of jabs today. So yeah, he has like 3 sets, and that honestly, that's like a complete girl. It's just heartbreaking because obviously he'll just burst into tears since the needles go in, and it's horrible.
Does he know to recognise the needle and know that this is going to hurt, or is it just literally when it goes in?
No, thankfully not. I reckon next time we go, then he'll be aware. But at the moment, no, he's just completely unaware. I did say to him like, "Oh, we're taking you to Disneyland," which I felt a bit cruel afterwards. But he was all right.
Already lying to him.
Already lying. Yeah, I'm already a bad dad. But otherwise he's really good, and he's just talking more and more. It's just insane. And again, sorry, I keep banging about it, but like
go on.
In my like neural networks module, we're talking about like how a baby can go from knowing nothing to being able to talk like within a year and a half, and then
insane, isn't it?
By the time they're about 11, they can pretty much talk as well as we can. Pretty much, they've really mastered their language. Yeah, they can drink.
They can drink. They can. Yep.
Well, I'm massively lagging behind then.
Oh yeah, but how they go from that no knowledge to that is insane. Really, when you think about it, it's just absolutely incredible. But they were talking about all the old theories and stuff, and like back in the day, they believed that there was like a little person in your head, and that's how But then that's how like he taught you from nothing to learning stuff. But then it was like, well, who taught the little guy in your head? And,
how long ago are we talking? Like Victorian times or earlier than that?
Earlier than that, I think, kind of like Plato times. I think that sort of stuff. So, and then there was like another theory that like you had these, I think, like different liquids in your body, and it's really interesting, learning all these
lava
theories.
lamps, the lava lamp.
Pretty much, yeah. And just all this magic happens, but it's really, really, really interesting stuff. Yeah. So, that's all good.
Are you still PHP developing much now? Does that take up? Well, obviously, it's part of your day job, but is the day job as full on as the college work and stuff at the moment, or
probably? I've done very little programming. That's the crazy thing with my modules this year. The most programming I've done is really stuff with Ubuntu and Apache, kind of learning those systems, and obviously looking at the security flaws and how to guard against them, all that kind of stuff. So not really so much programming, I guess. But in work, I am mainly PHP. Yeah, that is predominantly what I do. So it's still probably my core strength, I guess.
How is the day job going?
Day job's good. I can't remember how much I said on the last podcast, so just stop me if I've already said all about this. But we had like this server migration.
How did that go?
Well, for professional reasons, I won't say too much, but it was
really well then.
I know, really well then.
You don't need to say anything else.
Yeah.
You don't say anymore.
It was really, really challenging. I didn't have actually much involvement with it. I had to fix a few things, but there's just loads of things that, to be fair to the people involved, like predicting them all is a bit of a nightmare. And there were certain things that went wrong, like with the new setup, we went for the latest version of PHP. Well, not the latest. We went for 5.4, and
definitely not the latest.
Yeah, later version of PHP, and some of the modules that we had the SSH module installed on our old box, and we didn't on the new one, so that upset a load of things. The cron jobs that got migrated over, they were like paused on the new one, so suddenly had a few issues there. A couple of things went, not ideal.
So why was the server migration needed? Was it just get a new server, bigger server, better server?
Exactly that. Yeah, just more power, more space. All that the usual jazz, really.
I suppose because is it a dedicated server as well? Then,
so you can't. Box,
so you can't just like say Amazon instance, increase it more, please.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. We couldn't do that. So it's it's one of those things that it's like formatting your own computer, isn't it? Really, you put it off, but ultimately you've got to do it, and then things run faster and better. So, it was all good, but it was a bit of a stressful few days. So, but the house, it's coming along nicely but slowly. So we've got a few like rooms plastered now, and hopefully next time you guys come down, it will look very, very different. So,
yeah, we were chatting the other day, and you were saying there was still some stuff
Yeah.
you needed to burn. So
Yeah.
I'm keen to burn that.
Yeah, I was talking to Ed before about days and stuff. So I guess it's probably going to be after Christmas now. But
Yeah.
me and Ed were saying we should organise a free devs Christmas do.
Yes.
I was thinking maybe
What would that entail? Us doing a podcast in Christmas hats, or
Getting drunk, I think.
I was thinking Maidstone again. Yeah, maybe doing Maidstone. And I know we always invite our listeners, but you know,
They totally want to come.
yeah,
do you think both of
I'm
them
not
will
for
want to come?
listeners coming.
yeah. Sorry, Lou, what was that?
I said, do you think both of them will want to come?
Well, my mum's definitely
Both
interested.
million of them.
Well, we had a good email, didn't we, Lou? I think.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did, yes. Yeah, I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's the idea?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Maidstone and just going out for a few drinks or something. You know, we need a.
Oh, this is just that, or are you? Is this another?
Sounds
Let's
disappointing.
record when we're drunk thing that you guys all seem crazy keen on.
No, this was just us going out for a drink, to be honest.
Consider we had an in-depth talk about alcohol and developing a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that is. By the way, guys, have all of you watched the teaser trailer to Star Wars?
Yes.
No, I'm not bothered by Star Wars.
Oh, man.
It is pretty cool.
I thought the trailer was
Sorry, guys,
pretty rubbish, actually, to be
Well,
honest.
it was a lot of hype for what it is, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Like, oh, is that it? And you're like, okay,
Yeah, but I am very, very excited about it.
be a good laugh. A good laugh. Yeah, be a good crack. You know, it'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to the new Jurassic Park film.
Yeah.
Because that was like the defining film of
But I
when I
don't
was a kid,
understand
kind of thing.
about
So it's
Jurassic Park is why do they keep going back to the park? Why?
'Cause
if it's
they're
in the-
idiots.
They are, aren't they? It's like, oh,
yeah. Do you not remember?
I know. It's like if something bad happens at like Thorpe Park, and then you're like,
Yeah.
okay, probably won't go there anymore. No, they're like, nah, let's just do it again.
So just to clarify,
That's how I used to work at Thorpe Park.
did you?
I used to work at Thorpe Park. Yeah, I worked there for 2 years when I was like 18.
Really?
Oh, 18
wow.
to 20, yeah. It was like the greatest job ever.
You just get to go on rides.
Yeah. And the haunted house burnt down like just after I left. It wasn't me.
It wasn't.
Like,
I
it's
left
straight
on-
up.
That's
I
a
left
criminal
on
record,
good terms.
Doug.
I left on
Yeah.
good terms.
Yeah, it was good
Yeah.
times.
What-
But yeah, if that blew up, then no one would go back there.
Just to clarify,
Or if some dinosaurs came along and killed everyone.
it's not a remake then, the Jurassic Park.
No, it's-
No, it's a brand new one. Yeah, because it's Jurassic World, isn't it?
So what's
I think-
like the premise?
So not only have they got a park, they've got a world
I
of it
don't
now.
know. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. Like
Yeah.
just
Oh,
grabbing
yeah,
some
yeah.
money from the public around
And
the world.
They make like a hybrid dinosaur or something. I think I saw that in the trailer.
Ah,
And it
okay.
all goes wrong. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, they are good.
imagine if
good
it went
movies.
right, that'd be a crappy film, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I know. And it's just like happening.
Yeah.
It's a slow ride around the
Oh, a
park.
lovely day out at the theme park.
Yeah,
Cool.
true.
Well, I've had just literally had an idea for how to carry out the rest of this show,
yeah,
because
Okay.
we obviously we all come in with our own specific ideas and things that we maybe want to talk about, but
Right.
inevitably certain things take longer to talk about than others, so we don't always get through them all. So why don't we first of all go around one by one and say what our topics are, and then we can decide equally like which ones to discuss. Does that sound like a good idea? Because I've got a few written down, and yeah, should we do that? Does that sound? Can you
sorry,
hear me?
my headphones just playing up. But go ahead, go.
Okay, so the topics I have written down: Gulp and Bower, first of all, and then an issue I wanted to talk about with compressing and concatenating style sheets. And then I've got a navigation issue where I wanted to paint a picture of a scenario that I'm having with you guys and see what you would do, because I'm struggling with that. And then what else did I have? Talking about using content editable. And then actually the other things I had were thanking the people that sent in the emails, so we'll do that anyway. So anyway, those are mine.
We better definitely do that one because that.
Those are the topics I had. What about you, Ed?
Well, I've really just got a couple of links that I can quickly go through. They're not really topics. The one that was the capture, so a new Google capture is out, which really is quite awesome. That it's not actually a capture like just text typing capture. It's now it's able to work out if you're a human by the way that you click a checkbox or something like that. Very cool. And then obviously the composer stuff that happened this week where people started hating on garbage collection, and I don't know why, but it turns out that the way that a long process like building up dependencies in composer, it can actually get considerably quicker if you do disable garbage collection. and that's just one of the means that PHP actually uses to handle memory. But yeah, people lose their shiz over certain things like that. And also a cool link that I've got is something called cssstats.com, and you actually can post in you put a link in it, and it will actually analyze the CSS to see how many selectors, etc., are on there, which is quite cool. Like how what the colors and palette and stuff. So it's really quite interesting. And finally is just Git Minutes, which is just a podcast that I've started listening to about Git, which is pretty awesome.
Git Minutes, cool. I'll have to check that one out. Get those links down for the old show notes afterwards. Cool. Fraser?
Well, the only things I was kind of thinking of talking about was Gulp and Bower.
Yeah.
And I was going to put it out there just in case anyone had any navigation issues they wanted to talk about. I was thinking we could talk about those. And then I was also thinking if anybody wanted to discuss like concatenation, that's the right word, isn't it? Yeah.
And minification of CSS. Me, at least get it right.
No. Honestly, I just haven't got anything to talk about. So like your things sounded awesome to me because they're very front endy and I've not come with a specific agenda. I've literally got straight in from work. So Mr.
apologies. I really only had can I just do a quick on the spot question? Like, what does CAPTCHA stand for? I
hate you.
Oh. It stands for a horrible user experience.
Yeah, how to get people not wanting to visit your site.
Completely avoidable.
It's not far off, actually.
Person.
Pillock.
Wow.
That.
Are you all on Wikipedia right now?
Help anyone.
Application.
Completely avoidable total pillock that can't help anyone, or something like that. And I've probably got the letters wrong.
That was a guess. Going to kill me because I literally just about to go on Wikipedia and realised my batteries had died off my keyboard. So, Ed, can you remember? I quizzed Ed on this earlier.
You can't remember because I can actually see the reflection of your computer screen in your glasses.
So it's called completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart. Wow, they really made that. And then what does reCAPTCHA stand for? Is
doing it again.
Yeah, I assume like RE doesn't seem to have anything fancy. Good old Turing test.
I found that.
Did any of you watch the movie?
No,
I will do.
Yeah, I have, and it's all a bunch of lies, really. But it's a good movie. But yeah, they did just lie.
Some of it is
Hollywood.
Really embellished.
Well, they make him sound like he was a war criminal, but like not telling them that that thing he was. And yeah, they did a lot of things that are wrong. But it was a really nice movie, and Benedict Cumberbatch, the lead, is awesome. And I don't really know why. What's her name was in it? Keira Knightley. She's a lovely looking girl. Don't know why she was in it. She
certainly is.
Yeah, but she didn't. It didn't really. I didn't really know why she was in it. Like it wasn't really what happened. Yeah, but anyway, no, it was a good movie though.
Sorry,
so is it a British film or is it American?
Choice.
Yeah, her. So it turns out Alan Turing was actually Keira Knightley.
Awesome. Did not see that coming.
I know. What a spin.
Is it British or American, that film?
I think it's British. It's definitely a British cast and everything. And but yeah, it is a really nice film. Like. Well done.
Is that your dad?
No, I just
stripy polo shirt.
Everything over behind me. Sorry.
It's Ed's video. There was someone behind.
That's my brother.
Lou, I had one other topic if people choose, but I just wanted to ask you guys how you handle your forgotten passwords or reset passwords.
Plain text.
Plain text, perfect. Job done. But yeah, so that was mine. So
in terms of when we've made a login system, or
yeah. On your sorry guys, I've got 2 seconds.
No worries. But talking on the subject of passwords, it is kind of like you brought up plain text passwords, and it's quite scary. Like the number of times you'll sign up to a service and they'll send you an email with your password is da-da-da.
Yeah.
And it's you shouldn't be able to tell me that. Like,
yeah, exactly.
But I've got a frequent flyer card with Virgin, and I keep forgetting my login thing for that. And like obviously big company, like one of the biggest companies in the world, and then you do the forgotten password link and it'll send you an email with your password in it.
Now that is scary. That is scary.
And if you think how many people's information, like they're one of the biggest companies in the world, and then for them to
insane.
And it's only a matter of time before that does get hacked.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. I mean, yeah, it is
right, Mick.
Yeah, sorry, I realised I'd locked Abby out the house and she's been banging on the door for the past 5 minutes with these headphones on. Couldn't hear a thing.
Turns out it's not the only one in the doghouse tonight then.
Nope. I'll be right there with you. Be romantic. Sorry.
And on the same topic of passwords as well, with the same company but for a different one of their products, like I've got a credit card with them. Like when I registered with the credit card thing, it said select an image. I didn't know what I was selecting the image for, and then like it said, "Oh, put your mother's maiden name in." So I put mother's maiden name in now, and now any time that I type in my username, it says, "Oh, can you confirm that this is the image you chose, and can you confirm that this is your mother's maiden name?" I'm like why? It makes no sense whatsoever. There's no
someone else knows what the answer.
Exactly. Yeah. So if anybody knows my username and they want to know my mum's maiden name now, they can go on there and they can immediately see what my mum's maiden name is, which I've probably used on others. Like, it just.
I mean, that is. I always lie on those things. I never tell them the truth. I'm like, what's my mum's maiden name? And like Godzilla or something, you know.
They're really bad questions, aren't they?
They are. It's so personal, but I think it's because it's so that it stops phishing attacks. I think so because they know that information that only they will know it. Like other people, like other sites may not know it, so they can clone the website, make it look like that one, but not.
So
know.
it's to give you peace of mind that you are logging
on.
Okay, right.
But as you say, though, it is a bit.
But then why use that sensitive information?
I know that's weird. Like a picture, I can understand, or a memorable quote or something, but
location,
not that.
Yeah.
Your location.
No, it's just shocking. Yeah, I've said it like 3 times already, but like for a company the size of Virgin to have like password policies and security policies that poor, it's like it's scary.
Doing a reset password and then getting your password back is awful.
Shocking. Yeah,
is absolutely awful.
Yeah.
You know then that even if they encrypt it or whatever, there is a possibility of them being able to decrypt it. That's why one way hashing algorithms, encryption is the only way.
Exactly.
Anyway, sorry Mick, you were going to say like something. You actually started off the combo. We've kind of hijacked it.
I just wanted to know how you guys do it really, and do you think it's safe? And I've got
a system that I think's pretty good.
Okay, go for it.
When I do it, so when anyone registers through the site, there's like an active field in the database, which is 1 active or 0 inactive. Yeah. And and then they sign up and they get an email sent to them that's just got a random string that's also stored in the database, so that when they do that first login, it checks for that, and then if it finds that it's got the unique code as well as obviously their correct username and password, then it makes them active and it signs them in for the first time. And then basically, for the forgotten password, it goes through that all over again. So as soon as they request that forgotten password, they get set to inactive again, so that they have to go back through their email.
So
that's the way I do it.
You send them an email with a link?
Yeah.
And then they click on that link. Or what do you put in that link?
The link has a link to the login page, but it also has their unique random string concatenated on the end. Yeah.
Is that how everyone else does it?
Yeah, that's how I would do it.
You're going to tell me that this is really bad now, aren't you?
No, not at all.
No, because it does leave it. Yeah, because I guess it's how do you do it without leaving it wide open to abuse from other people? Like even if they like you say, it makes their account inactive until they go through that process. But then what's to stop like Michael going on to some website pretending to be you, filling in the forgotten password, and then it's kind of it interrupts your experience. So it's
of it.
I'll put my cards on the table. I do it exactly the same way as you do, Lou. But I just wondered if it is open to brute force attack.
Well, I mean, the only thing is like if someone tries to, know that key. Yeah. But they have to know your email address, and then they also have to know that key, don't they, to be able to reset their password. But then, like, I suppose what you could do is then have it a simple case of just, like if someone attempts to try and reset someone's password, with a different key. Yeah, like just knock it out for 30 minutes or something. And that will halt it, really, because the second you start putting...
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think that's the second step that you need to put in. I haven't really done that. It just got me thinking the other day, but I think you probably do need that to make it safe. As safe.
That's the thing, because I guess if somebody knows what length of character, like if you're always going to send them 16 random digits, then I guess it makes it narrows a brute force attack down for them, because they know they only have to target 16-digit attempts. And
exactly, I think if there was a bot and it knew the forgotten password link and it knew some email addresses, then I guess brute force could. But then if your string was maybe 16 characters, I think that's probably pretty safe, actually, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I just wondered what you guys did, but I do exactly the same, so it's reassuring to know. But I just want to check.
And I fully reset the password with a random password as well.
Yeah.
Rather than keeping the password the same, and obviously I don't send the literal password in the thing because I do things properly and I don't know what those passwords are. So
Richard Branson,
it's all Richard's fault.
Overrated.
Yeah.
But that's all I had. So.
Okay, cool. Well, I actually have 4 links before we go on to the 3 links. Sorry, the first one, I've been doing a lot of front end stuff this week. The first one is Sprite Cow, which I put a tweet about.
Oh yeah, that was cool. I like that one.
Do you guys use image sprites, or do you just do the old clip it up, save each image individually, and all that stuff?
No, I use sprites. I've never used a service to build them. I just kind of whack them all onto a PNG and extend the canvas as I need to when I go along. But that thing that you said, Ram, looks pretty awesome, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it's just you just literally drag a cursor around it and it tells you exactly what the position is on the sprite, so you don't have to do all that messing around.
Yeah, it's awesome,
so
man.
It saves the trick there. And then the other one, just probably useful for back-end devs that don't really do much in the design stuff, but rather than using just like solid colours for backgrounds and things like that, I found noisetexturegenerator.com and stripegenerator.com. Just little nice, easy, like the CSS3 generator things you can get that, just create these nice bits for you.
Nice.
I'll put some links to that. But yeah, so those are the actual links that I had. But yeah, so
awesome.
Which and also we should thank the guys that emailed in, shouldn't we?
Yes, we absolutely should.
Yeah.
Jimmy Burrell again from who we mentioned last week, who sent us the first email in. Thanks, Jimmy. He's very kindly followed up his original email where he said about using SSL with DigitalOcean, and he's emailed us with his Apache configuration, which I haven't had a proper chance to have a look at yet, but I will do that in due course. So thanks again, Jimmy, and glad I think he put another tweet out saying he was enjoying the show, so that's all good. And then we had another brilliant email from a guy called Eric Bishard. Did you guys see it?
Yes, I did. That was awesome. That
was
one
really cool.
Yeah, really nice.
I didn't
have
the
guy
in
in Florida.
Back to him, but the guy from Florida. It was really nice email.
Did any of you guys have a look at the blog post that he put in it?
I didn't.
I have it open in front of me right now, in fact.
Perfect. I just thought it's got an interesting. I thought maybe we'd give it a little bit of a read out, and he's got some interesting kind of ideas in it about listening to podcasts mainly, and the fact that the podcasts he listens to that aren't based around the stack that he uses. So I must admit a lot of the ones that I do are, but I should probably open my eyes to these other ones like .NET Rocks and those things that are supposed to be really good. Because I suppose even if you're not actively using those things, it's
you're always going to learn from anyone. Yeah, different languages, different stacks. You can definitely learn something and take it back to your day job.
Yeah, software
exactly.
Craftsmanship is software craftsmanship, whatever language you do. I think I really like .NET Rocks. I think it's a great show.
But he's given us a nice little review in this blog post saying. The description of our show notes: weekly discussion podcast on all things web development. Topics range from developer daily life, PHP, frameworks testing, good software design, and our experiences from many other programming languages. He says this is pretty accurate, and I'd say the show is more up my alley these days than when he first started listening back through episodes 1 to 10.
Oh.
I can get where he's coming from there. I think we may be. We're still you still want to appeal to beginner PHP developers and stuff, people that are getting out. But I think the angle we try and come out with that now is just we try and just talk in English, don't we? Rather than and as you said, there's only a certain number of shows that you can do where you're still on the basics of things.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that was another thing we kind of realised. Like, it's good to have the educational elements in a podcast, but also ultimately, we want to try and make it entertaining and enjoyable to listen to. So it's, good to talk about what we're doing on a daily basis and the kind of things.
Yeah, just like general developer life, I guess, as well, isn't it?
Exactly. And that's the good thing about it. Like the Ramble podcast that we do, we've always got stuff to talk about because stuff always crops up on a weekly basis. There's always something. So, we haven't really focused on a particular topic for quite a few of our shows now, have we? So. But
it's a really good article he's written, isn't it? Really,
it's really good. It's fantastic. Rather than spoil it for everyone listening, we'll put a link to it. So I quite like to plug anything that the people that bother to contact us. It's always good for us to give something back to them. So stick the link for that in. So I mean, it seems to be. I mean, we seem to be getting a bit more feedback the last few days, and I think the current format of going with the flow seems to be working well. Because inevitably, majority of things crop up anyway, and we touch on various things anyway throughout.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Yeah, Mike, Ed.
Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. Cool. It's awesome.
But we're always open to suggestions of things that you want us to mention about. Two things. I mean, one thing that I'm really excited about using now this week is Gulp and Bower. We talked about Gulp a few weeks ago, but Bower, Fraser, you probably
I've never used
this?
Bower actually. No, it's one thing that I was actually kind of glancing over this week because it's one of the things that keeps cropping up that I've not had a look at yet. But it's from what I understand, it's just a dependency manager, is it?
Exactly, it's exactly that. But why aren't we using it? Why are we installing packages manually every single time we need them, rather than just having this package.json file that does it all?
And how simple is the JSON file? Do you literally just specify packages by name and then it knows where they are from?
Talk amongst yourself just for a couple of minutes, and I'll get one in front of me that I've been using.
You know what? You asked why we're not doing this. My answer to that would be, I saw someone put on Twitter saying setup process in 1995, add jQuery, go, and then not even
add jQuery, was it?
Yeah, not even that. Yeah,
it was fire up Notepad and then off you go.
Yeah. And then it's setup process, 2014, install Bower, install, add this, add that, and he's joking. Obviously, I'm sure he sees the positives of it, but you can see the point actually that sometimes
things get more
just
confusing.
Go crazy.
We are abstraction upon abstraction upon abstraction.
Yeah.
And Lewis, you've used Require.js and Bower now, I guess. So what are the differences between Require.js, or do they fit different needs?
I haven't used Require. I'm not really too sure on that one.
I thought you'd used Require.
I could chime in on that. So Require.js, what that does is instead of so the whole problem is obviously when you have loads of different libraries and stuff, it's knowing which ones you've actually got around. Because sometimes you may depend on jQuery, you may depend on jQuery validation as well. What Require.js does says that I require jQuery and I require jQuery validation before you do this said function or this said bit of action, this said action. So that's what it does. It just says it's just a requirement, kind of. It allows you to know safely that anything that when we want to use it, it will be automatically loaded then at that time. And can I quickly just one thing? I just put in the show note, in the Skype window, a book on LeanPub, DDD in PHP, domain-driven design in PHP, and it's a bit of a self-promotional plug, but it's also for a person at my work, Kayvan, and a couple of his friends are actually writing a book on domain-driven design in PHP, and unfortunately, I'm fortunately be able to contribute by just helping out with some of the English stuff and everything.
Awesome.
So I'm starting looking into writing books and stuff, which is pretty fun. So put that in the show notes.
Have you got one on the back burner that you're thinking of writing?
I not personally, no. I think I quite like refactoring someone else's writing, but doing my own writing is a pain.
Well, I'd buy it if you did.
Thank you, sir. You're too kind. or torrent it.
I'd torrent it. See if it was available for torrent. If not, then I'd probably have to buy it out of guilt.
and hope that I'd give you a freebie or something beforehand. No, okay. I guess I'll do it.
Cool. Right. So coming back to Bower.
Yeah.
So the process with me, literally. So first of all, you install it globally, like you would anything else. So Bower. I can't even remember the instruction off the top of my head, but your -G. And it does all of that stuff, installs it, and then you just go into your project. And the easiest way if you're starting from scratch is just to do Bower init, and it then gives you a few things, and it will create this bower.json file.
Okay.
And then I guess the easiest thing to do when it's the first time out that you're using it, just literally install the packages manually, like Bower install jQuery and Bower install Bootstrap or whatever.
Okay.
But if you put save dev is on Gulp, isn't it? I think it's -S. And then if you do that on the end, it saves all those into your bower.json file.
Okay, so you don't need to populate the JSON file yourself.
Yeah, no, exactly. So if you do it that way, it does it, and then you've obviously got that you can use other times. So and then just Bower install once you've got all the if you've got the bower.json file already built up with your dependencies, and just Bower install. It's just like using Composer but front end.
Okay, cool. So just rather than having to go to just jQuery.com, downloading jQuery, then going to bootstrap.com or
and then
bootstrap.com,
cloning all your Git repositories that you want to use. It's just a central place.
So does it incorporate those as Git clones, or does it just download the files?
No, I'm not even sure, but you don't even really have to worry about it because you can just do Bower update, and I think it does. I think it grabs them as Git repositories or wherever they're from.
What do you call them in Git? Because in SVN it's external, isn't it? Is that correct, Ed?
What? So a Git?
When you pull in like a library or something from somewhere else that you're not actively working on yourself.
So old school way is submodules. It's
right.
How
Okay.
You have a submodule, but normally you just call it another Git repo, just like a third-party Git repo dependency.
Yeah. Because my first kind of foray into version control was using SVN, and it was they always used to call those externals. And
externals.
And,
watch out for the externals.
Yeah, I still need to get a proper grasp of Git. I'm using it, but it's still.
Does your new place use it?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I think they probably would, because they seem to be quite forward thinking, and they kind of said, look, we're always looking to use the newest technologies and stuff. So
awesome.
I'd be surprised if they didn't, but it'll be good. I hope I get a Mac as well. That'd be sweet.
That would
not
nice.
like a personal one. I hope I get to use one in the office.
Yeah.
And get a personal one. That would be even better.
Yeah.
Actually, yes. So coming back to using this stuff, one of the things I mentioned about the topic of compressing and concatenating your files, which obviously everyone kind of needs to do, don't they?
Yep.
So an issue that I came across this week is that I was using Gulp to go through basically all the CSS files that I had in a directory, compress those, and then concatenate them into one file.
Yep.
So there's obviously less HTTP requests and all that stuff going on there. But then I then decided to try and do it with all the package CSS files that I downloaded through Bower.
Right.
But then obviously certain ones of those have file paths associated to images and stuff like that.
Yes.
So I then thought, there's an issue, and I just wondered if. I'm assuming that's not something that can be dealt with. It's just these things are all in the package, and they kind of need to stay where they are to be. Thankfully, the majority of the time they come shipped with a minified file, but you still want to be concatenating them ideally, I guess. But
that is the problem I found with with like something like Bower, is that you have them split out and then you need to concatenate. So I think with Gulp or something, you'd have a build process that then does that when you want to does all it all and then produces them like an artifact that you can then upload when you need to.
Yeah,
this is where I'm wondering whether this hardcore. Sorry.
Yeah, it's good because it'd be a tricky script to write as well, wouldn't it? Because if the library or the plugin or something that you're using is using images in different directions, like one might call it IMG and one might call it images for where it keeps its images. So it's obviously getting.
You're going to have to know kind of beforehand how they.
Exactly. Yeah, and then kind of allow for that, but it's a funny one.
I would imagine. It's some of these hardcore things like Yeoman. Yeoman seems to be I haven't looked at it greatly, but it seems to be the thing that does everything. So rather than using Gulp and Bower or whatever else, or even I think Grunt and Gulp must be quite similar. But I think Yeoman. Basically, once I get my head around it, that probably just does everything. So I'll probably end up using that eventually.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys used Yeoman.
I used it a little bit.
Just a lot of articles about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that. It sets up. It's good to for front end stuff. I mean, because I don't work on much kind of front endy stuff. I mean, what I now use, we want to move to use something like Gulp, but we currently use just Symfony's built-in asset manager, which is quite nice because what it does is it automatically concatenates them when you want to be in production. So you'll be able to use them as and when like JavaScript files all on their own, and then it would do the hard work of actually concatenating them and then building an artifact that you could then just push to your live server when you need it.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the thing, like asset management and stuff is a pain, and it's good if you can get away from you having to deal with it. You shouldn't have to be building, all these artifacts yourself. You should just get someone else to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Very quiet. Mike, do you use any of these, or you're more back end, aren't you?
Put all my JavaScript CSS in one file. And then just move job, someone else's problem. It's changing.
I don't think it's such an issue with JavaScript files because I guess you don't. It's not quite so. But with CSS and the various things that needs. And stuff
I
like
agree.
That.
On a serious note, I think like Ed was just saying, really, I kind of realise now that it's such a big area that I just tend to leave front end guys to it, and I don't really step on their toes too much. I just trust that they know the best things. The only thing I would say in my experience is I have worked on projects where two people have used two different things, and that's caused chaos. And it's like there's no rule that says which one the company officially uses.
Do you have any coding standards or any guidelines, or do you just let people kind of do as and what they want?
I think the thing is, if you say, "Oh, right, we're just using Grunt," then that's very closed-minded, then, isn't it? Like, because then once next thing comes along and that's better, you know what I mean?
I think it's okay. I think it's okay, and as long as you say, "Look, if you can tell me why another thing is better, then we'll move to that." But I do think having a standard is quite good. Like,
it does,
Yeah, but I guess, like, when we all worked together, like, our boss was pretty flexible and said, I don't mind what framework you use, as long as it builds a good site. I don't know. It's an interesting debate, isn't it? But
it is, because I guess even as far as you introduced Ed at the place where we all worked together, less. I believe that was you. Was that you, Michael, that introduced that?
I think it was Mickey B.
That was me.
Okay, Mickey. Sorry to wrongly attribute that, but yeah, no, absolutely fantastic tool. I love writing in less, and I do all my work in less.
Yeah, I'm a SAS man.
I'm not had a proper play with SAS, but from what I understand, it's pretty similar.
I think they are. But I don't think there's a line in it, to be honest.
Yeah, but the situation where, like, if you or me or one of you guys kind of sits there and says, okay, well, this project's been done mainly in less, and sits there and it's the less, and obviously you compile it and it outputs the CSS. What then happens when the director who's not familiar with less, or one of the other developers who doesn't use less, then says, okay, I need to make a quick change to this website, completely unaware of what less is or the existence of less, and then sits there and makes a change with CSS, then 2 weeks down the line you have to go in and make another change. You do it in the less because that's what you're used to, and then
you compile it, all his stuff is done.
Yeah,
so it's definitely
issue with running gulp tasks as well.
I 100% agree. That's such a great point. And sometimes, obviously, I'm not looking at it right now, but when you look at job description, it says, someone who knows Grunt, Bower, and it's just this huge list. And you think, it's almost a bit unfair, really, that you're expected to know everything. Like, because in an ideal world, I would like to specialise in knowing this, and that.
Yeah.
But the list is getting bigger and bigger. The expectations.
Oh yeah, but I think a lot of the time those job descriptions are put together by recruiters anyway. So they kind of say, front end. Like, what do we need for like? They'll get in touch with the company. They're saying, "Are you looking for staff?" I'm like, "Yeah, we're looking for a front ender."
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh right, shit, okay, front end." And then they sit there and like type in front end, and it's like, "Okay, well, SAS, less, like Grunt, Gulp, Node, like
all the buzzwords, every buzzword possible."
Exactly.
And you find out they just use like ASP.NET,
exactly,
classic ASP, and that's it. And it's like, okay.
They still forward through CVs from people that have only used Microsoft Word, and that's it.
I got one from a recruitment consultant the other day, literally saying, "Dear, insert applicant name."
Oh my god!
Oh, painful. Can I just segue?
And a recruiter sent an email to my work address, which is appalling.
I had a phone call to my work address from a recruiter. Did I mention that to you?
I've had that.
Oh, I think you did, when we were at the other week.
It wasn't related to the fact that I'm moving jobs or anything. It was like they'd seen me on LinkedIn, and obviously they've seen web developer, so they get in touch with every web developer they come across on LinkedIn.
They've got
I don't have a phone number on there, so they... completely, So I got the PA to, not my PA, like the boss's PA, like says, I've got such and such on the phone from such and such a company. I was like, I've never heard of this person. And I answer the phone, and it's like, oh yeah, just wondering, are you currently looking for a new job?
God.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
I appreciate you asking me if I'm interested in a job, but I'm just with my boss. Could I call you back?
Yeah.
This is awkward.
But it's just the cheek of them, like.
Man, they don't care. I mean, they're just looking to get numbers.
In a lot of ways, they're the worst kind of salesman going.
Yeah. You're just
scum of the earth.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a point just very quickly, because it kind of links about what we were just saying. It's not a tool like Grunt is or something like that, but I don't know if you saw like RBS were in trouble again the other week with like their cache machines not working and stuff, and allegedly it was another sort of system built in Fortran, and they just don't have the programmers who know Fortran. They're kind of like playing with stuff and they're like, oh, please don't break. They don't have the Fortran developer, but they can't turn those systems off
because they're so important.
Yeah, and it's a crazy situation, which is actually one of the reasons why I think Java will be around for a long, long time. But it just kind of illustrates the point you were saying. Like, if you've got someone who loves Grunt and then they leave the company and no one else knows it, they're huge. problems, aren't they? Not something that we can answer in the podcast, but they are huge issues, really.
Oh, massively, yeah.
Yeah.
Good thing is, I mean, there isn't a massive amount that you necessarily have to know, except that this gulp file is in place. Just run gulp. Don't worry about it. Just do it.
Yeah.
If you're sensible with it, I suppose it depends what you're trying to do in those tasks. But
yeah.
the one that watches everything, as long as that one's working properly, that's the one that can majorly break things, I would think, or the lack of running it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing. I think with everything going on with the front end at the moment as well, like, because there's so much new stuff coming out all the time, and like, have you seen all the kind of the uproar about Angular recently?
No.
Like, because obviously Angular was getting away from the pack of obviously like Ember and Backbone.
Yeah, it became like quite a big thing, didn't it?
That's the thing, and it was the one that everyone was like, okay, well, it's backed by Google, so this is going to be the one we're going to learn. So everyone like threw all their resources into learning that, and then they've put out all these apps like built solely in Angular, and then they announced, I think it was about a month ago or 6 weeks ago or something, or some small amount of time ago. I don't know how long ago it was. They was just, we're writing Angular 2, and it's going to be completely backwards incompatible.
Oh, damn.
So like, everyone's like,
completely different.
Yeah. So this is like kind of really stirred the pot, because a lot of people are saying, well, and rightly so, like, why should we even bother learning any of these frameworks if the one that we'd kind of threw all our resources into and had the most faith in, they're all of a sudden like not kicking us in the teeth, but it's like all these people that have dedicated so much learning time to this one technology that they're now saying, in a year's time when we release Angular 2, like, you're gonna have to relearn it all again. Of yours, you've picked the wrong one, and I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic product. But then, how then are they going to gain the trust to get people to adopt Angular 2 when, like, 18 months after Angular 1, they're now, or 2.5 years after Angular 1, it's kind of they're releasing a completely new thing that you're going to have to relearn everything.
Yeah,
there's been similar comparisons with PHP frameworks as well, though, isn't there? I'm not going to name any in particular, but I mean, it's not even that. I suppose it's any technology. It depends. I mean,
true.
If it's constantly upgrading, and then suddenly like if you're moving on from version 1 to version 2, but version 2 is totally different, then what do you do? This is a problem that I realise a lot now. Like with anything, like you want to, all the projects that you're working on, you want them to have the latest technologies in, and you want to constantly be like upgrading your code on them. But the moment you do that, suddenly you find yourself bug fixing left, right, and centre. So do you just kind of leave a project where it is for time, and then like the next project you get to start using new stuff, or because every time I try and, like, even the things I'm working on, if I've just like put updates into some of my classes or something like that, or done a bit of refactoring, it inevitably like introduces bugs into other projects that are using the same code base but hadn't been upgraded to my kind of latest. It's a constant battle, and
it is. And I guess it just kind of highlights the importance of knowing the basics and knowing the fundamentals, like knowing PHP and knowing JavaScript, rather than going straight in and learning like Laravel, or going straight in and learning CodeIgniter, or going in and learning Angular. Like, as long as you know JavaScript, and then you can pick up the newest frameworks, and if you know PHP, you can pick up the newest frameworks in PHP and everything like that. So I think it kind of, I don't know, maybe it's something that we as web developers should kind of be leaning more on, because there is a kind of a big, oh wow, look at this fancy new thing, let's all jump on this. No, let's not jump on this. Let's use it cautiously, but essentially like build your skills in the basics, and then you can work in whatever you want.
Absolutely, it seems to be a good stopping point there. We've covered some interesting stuff, which I'm sure we can carry on discussing next week.
Absolutely,
but I think we're all kind of running out of time here. So cool. Thanks, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure as usual.
Yeah, it's been indeed.
Thanks for hosting, Lou.
Yes,
nice job.
Great host.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And sorry for my unusual entrance. I look forward to hearing that back.
That was good, man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna clip it out for a sound clip as well. We can play it every episode. We can replace the intro, because we need a new intro.
We do. We really
because we're not specified. Obviously, we're catering for beginners still, but we're not aimed solely beginners. So
we do need to change that.
I'll re-record it and I'll do it properly.
We can auto-tune it as well and put like some rap music in the background, and we can be like hip with the kids.
Oh, dear.
All right then, guys. We'll have a good rest of the week, and we'll all hook up again soon. Cheers to everyone listening, and comments welcome as always, and we'll speak to you all next time.
See you later, guys.
Cheers.
Bye. Bye.
You've been listening to 3 Devs and a Maybe. You can contact us at contact at 3devsandamaybe.com or follow us on Twitter at the number 3devsandamaybe.